Hi friends, I'm very excited. I'm starting something new today and I can't wait to share it with you. But before we get into that, I want to introduce myself for any friends who are new here. My name is Lilia. I'm a digital nomad who's been traveling the world predominantly solo for the past 3.5 years. It started with a yoga teacher training in Bali, and then I fell in love with it and solo travel life that I decided to alter my professional path, my friendships, my lifestyle to align in a way that would allow me to travel the world more freely. Mostly what you've been seeing on my channel is travel vlogs of the different places I go to, but today I want to start something new. I'm gonna call it my sit down series, and I want to film this type of video before each of my trips where I basically just talk about the why and the intention behind where I'm going. If you see me look over here, it's because I wrote notes on my iPad and in my journal, so that's why I'm looking. But basically, it's because I really want to connect with you guys more deeply. I feel like you know me through my highlight reels, but I don't know if you know me just in like my chill setting, so I'm hoping we get to know each other a little bit better that way. I also think this is a great opportunity for me to slow down and be more present and kind of take you guys along the behind the scenes look of each of my trips. And that is why I've started my sit down series. So grab yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, get in cozy clothes, and let's have a heart to heart. Okay, so you're probably wondering, where am I going? Well, I bought a one-way ticket. This is my favorite thing to do. I never know when I want to leave a place, so I always just book a one-way, and then that gives me the flexibility to come back home whenever I wish. It's been a destination that's been on my list for years, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to finally get there, but I do think everything happens for a reason. And I think there's a reason why I have such a pull to visit this country, which I'll talk about later. In 2 weeks, I will be traveling to Mexico. And this place is very special for me, not just because it's a neighbor, not just because where I grew up has been super influenced by Mexican culture. Many of my friends were Mexican, but I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican American, and I'm just really excited to reconnect with my roots and where my ancestry comes from. So where am I going? I am starting off in Guadalajara. Really affordable flights. Here's a travel tip. If you do want to visit Mexico and you live in Arizona, Phoenix to Guadalajara is direct and they're very affordable. And then from Guadalajara, I will be going to León because my Theo's sister lives there. And on that trip, we're gonna go to Querétaro, and then one other city, I can't remember, but I'll include it right here. And then from there, I'm going to Mexico City. My Thea's also gonna join me on that portion of the trip. And then from Mexico City, I will be going to Oaxaca, which I'm so excited for. A mentor of mine went on a trip there like maybe 2 years ago and she sold me on it. So I knew when I was going to Mexico that that was a place I had to visit. And then the last place I want to go is gonna be La Paz, because this is kind of what kickstarted the whole trip. Was there's a mobula ray migration that happens in the Gulf of California. So if you've seen Finding Nemo, it's the stingray who like shuttles all of the children fish to the reef's edge. They all go in these big migrations to head up north, and it happens in the beginning of May. So I'm hoping to end my trip there. I am gonna keep things open. If I really loved a certain city and wanna go back, then I might do that afterwards. But that's why we buy the one-way tickets, so then we can pick where we wanna go. What I plan to do in Mexico, nothing crazy. If you've been following me for a bit, you probably saw my Southeast Asia series, and I did so much adventuring. I definitely wanna have adventure in Mexico, but this is a trip where I really wanna slow down and reconnect with myself. And what better place to do it than in a country where I'm from. I plan on walking and exploring a bunch. I think that's one of my favorite things to do in a new city, is just walk around and pop into shops and cafes and really anything that calls to me. I'm looking forward to sitting in cafes to get work done because I will still need to work. So I love to find cute cafes, eat yummy food, and do really good people watching. The Mexico architecture and the design and just the, you know, The overall aesthetic is stunning. It's full and vibrant of color. I also want to work on something creative. I've been kind of redeveloping my brand to have a deeper meaning. Right now, it's kind of just travel life, digital nomad life, slow travel, intentional travel. But I think I have a deeper purpose, a deeper why. And I will talk about this more probably in another video, but I really think it's kind of, I want my channel to be a happy, safe place for women to feel empowered, to live a fulfilling life and one that makes them really proud. Fashion. I'm packing really intentionally this trip. A lot of the pieces I'm gonna be wearing are quite lightweight, minimal pieces, and then my goal is to find gorgeous accessories. Colorful, right? This is how I wanna bring in color and express myself, is through accessories. And the fashion in Mexico, specifically Mexico City, are insane. Just from the pictures I've seen, I am really gonna need to reel it in because I'm gonna wanna buy everything, but we're gonna buy pieces that we keep in our lives forever, and every time we wear it or look at it, I'll be remembered of this trip that we took, because I'm taking you along to Mexico. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. The plan is no plan. There are some big things you have to do. I might do Tequila Mexico. I told you I'm gonna do the snorkeling with the mobula rays, probably do some scuba diving, see some pyramids. But other than that, I kind of just keep my itineraries quite loose, so that way if anything comes up, I am open to it. One thing I wanted to show you too, I created like a word collage of all the reasons I am looking forward to visiting Mexico. So this is mine, but I'll read you some of the ones that are double highlighted in this green are ones I'm especially excited for. So my ancestry, inspiration. I feel like the Mexican people are so creative. This is gonna be a perfect trip for me trying to rebrand my brand because there's just going to be so much creative energy flowing around me. Fashion, because the stores I've already looked up look insane, and don't worry, I'll take you along for all of my shopping. Animals, the whole trip started because of the mobula ray migration, so I'm super excited to scuba dive in some of the best waters in the world. Color, because I've kind of been scared of color, and I'm hoping this trip will help me learn to embrace it more. Food, you didn't even have to guess. The majority of my Google Maps is restaurants. The challenging of old beliefs. I only know Mexico as Sonora, which is like saying you know the United States because you know about Texas. If all you know about a country is one state, you are not getting the full picture. So all I've known about Mexico is Sonora, which is the state where most of my family is from. It's the one that borders the US. So as you can guess, there's a lot of immigration things that will come up. There is a lot of biases, I think people can feel. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. You know, your typical type of racism you experience growing up and looking different than everybody else. So I was ashamed of my culture for a very long time. And so I'm starting to embrace it now. And I'm looking forward to being proud to be a Latina, to be a Mexican woman. And yeah, just basically changing my beliefs. I guess you think, and I mean this to no disrespect, it's a fault of mine, and I'm looking forward to changing this belief, right? Like challenging this old belief. But I viewed Mexico as a country that was impoverished. It wasn't as developed as the United States in terms of innovation. It wasn't at the same degree. And even just from my research, I've already been proven wrong in many of those. I think, in fact, the Mexican people are more creative. They're more resourceful. Their ways of challenging the norm and kind of going outside of the boundaries in terms of architecture, fashion, design, like just has been incredible. Yeah, basically being around people that look like me. I told you I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood, so not many people, and I'm fair skinned, but still with my curly hair, I still stuck out. History, it's also a big start of civilization. I fell in love with Greece because there was so much history and like start of democracy and start of Western philosophy there. The same goes for the Aztecs in Mexico. And so I am really looking forward to being in an area that was the foundation of a very major civilization. So I have some questions for you guys, and if you've made it this far in the video, leave them in the comments below. But I'm curious if this type of like slower, more intentional, laissez-faire type travel is something that interests you. And if it does, I want to know where you would like to experience this type of travel experience, like which country, which city, where do you want to go? Let me know in the comments below. And don't worry, I'm still going to keep up with my travel vlogs, so you're going to be able to see everything I do on my Mexico trip. If you want real-time videos, be sure to follow me on TikTok at La Vida Loca or my Instagram handle, which is at La Vida Lilia. Also, let me know if you liked this type of video. I would like to do it more often before my trips. I think it's really nice to kind of set my intention so that way I know why I'm traveling to this place. And not just because they have good food and cool pyramids. Like, it's so much deeper, and I challenge you to think more deeply about why you're traveling to the places you're traveling to. So yeah, thank you so much for being here and sharing this time. This is a safe space, so feel free to let me know what you're feeling in the comments, and I'd be happy to start to build a community around this kind of intentional, thoughtful, slow travel, living type of vibe. I don't know, we'll see what it develops into, but I really feel something here, and I don't think I'm the only one. So I'm looking forward to finding those people out in the digital world that are like me and really just want to start living a life that they're proud of. And you have everything you need to do that within you. You don't need to depend on anybody else. So with that said, I will see you guys in the next vlog. Actually, I will see you guys in Mexico because that will be the next vlog. All right, bye.